Looking at the talent prediction here, you guys know, even the production's like, nah, don't let LaFell cook, but Mirko, you're cooking. You're going for AB brand.
I think that after seeing the Page vs. Page finals 2 times, I've always said like, okay, we have to have a Indonesia versus Philippines or a Philippines versus someone else kind of a grand final, and we are given it.
Oh yeah, and now you can hear the crowd roar when we see we're going into the draft of this first game in the best of 7 between AB Brand going up against Onyx, where again, they faced each other before. AB Brand, will they ban out the Nolan?
A big problem was that Nolan, and it seems like AP Brand this time they've swapped those sides. They want to pick it up for themselves. They want to bait Onyx to letting it go towards them.
And for some reason, the Kaja still is there as the ban for AP Brand. Now with the Joy, they will ban out the 1-1, which obviously is one of the heroes that you don't want to give to Onyx, knowing how CW is good with it.
Oh yeah, right now looking at the bans here, AB Brand betting out a Kaja as well as the Joy. Onyx now with the Faramis as well as the Guinevere. We've seen how Onyx, they have the capability of taking a team fight and making sure that just one is needed for them to close out the game. But I gotta talk about mental here, Wolf, because again, AP Brand, after losing, they couldn't reset, they couldn't get back into the game. But today, should they be fired up going up against Onyx, or should they calm themselves down?
They really have to be calm right now. That's what they need to do, because you have a 7-game series ahead of you. You don't wanna exhaust your energy just trying to be be good at the game or trying to fix your mental. You have to really resolve all of your energy so that you will win the 7-game series. By the way, I think Fredrin is going to be the first pick. That's what I heard, what we can see from the crowd. Quickly answered by a Valentina, even when there's a Fredrin, and of course, I believe that was Bruno.
And also the Nolan ban, right? Instantly respect here from Onyx. They know how hard it is to go up against the Nolan. They know how hard it is to play against it. They played it yesterday against AP Brand, and it's a Dyra. What? It's a Dyra pick. Very early on.
For the folks watching at home, don't worry. The pick and bans is still ongoing, and we're witnessing here, looking like, yep, the Dyrov is getting picked up. Looks like they want to answer the Fredrin very early on.
Arlet is open.
Always on the way.
There is Matilda, obviously, that we can see right now. Very early Brody here coming out from AP Brand.
Looking like they want a lot of damage coming in from the goalie here. And we can hear the crowd cheering for the Matilda pick.
It's a comfort pick, right? Not just the Matilda, but also the Brody for Super Marco. If they want to really just get into the game, snowball it out of control, they need to play for Super Marco. I think, for me personally, it has to be when I'm talking about the highlight players of AP Brand, it's their roamer and their gold laner. So if Super Marco gets facilitated with a great hero that can bully and look for that snowball early with a roamer that's so mobile, they can get these lanes all ahead with a Fredrin in the mid lane to just hold Onyx back. It seems like they're doing exactly what they did to Blacklist yesterday.
Tigreal, obviously one of the heroes that is going to be rising in popularity, at least in M5. And Paquito immediately going to be the ban for AP Brand, who is blue side, red side, I mean. Oh, yeah, they're blue side.
Wolf.
So that was Onyx banning Paquito.
I gotta talk about the timings here, because looking at AP Brand, when they do have the Brody, the second turtle, the Brody will rotate to that turtle and join the team fight very early on, getting that 2-item power spike by that point. What is the timing for AP Brand here? What kind of pressure do they want to put on Onyx?
You nailed it right in the head. It's the second turtle. And one thing that you'll notice about like Matilda Brody is that the Brody is much faster when it comes to farming because of that guiding wind. You're gonna see like a cross map play, like maximum range guiding winds at a min-max, and for sure that will be the timing. Second turtle going and they're gonna be just completely ramaging through instead of Onyx. That's why Onyx went for the Tigreal, because they want to look for a stopper for this kind of aggression coming out from AP Brand.
To the folks at home, we got our draft back here. AP Brand picked up the Fredrin Matilda as well as the Brody, while Onyx picked up the Valentina. This Dyrov, we can't say it's for Boots or Kyrie.
Exactly.
And as well as the Tigreal here, because we've seen Onyx play it both ways. At this point, I don't know.
That's why you first pick it, and then eventually they'll get their marksman in the 4th pick. Lilia being banned here by Onyx. They might consider getting the Claude or a Fredrin a carry in fact, because carry is great against the Fredrin, and in a way it can man up against the Brody, or at least hand-to-hand combat against that Brody, and we know for sure that CW is a player that can actually play that hero.
That's something that maybe Onyx are looking to attack from the angle that they can actually secure, well, maybe not a gold laner here, save the gold laner for last.
Yep.
I do want to bring up the point that for Onyx, I think even in yesterday's series, right, we didn't get to see Onyx on the red side at all. AP Brand decided to take it away from Onyx all 3 games. And the fun fact is, I feel like AP Brand did that intentionally. They know that Onyx have sublime win rates, phenomenal win rates on the red side, Yeb's favorite side, to try to outdraft their opponents. With the Bruno ban here, they've already secured the Brody. They want to really facilitate Super Marco, but Onyx doing the same thing, but to few. They have first pick and second phase. They can deny even more heroes from AP Brand.
Right now for Onyx, they banned out the Paquito. This looks like they don't want cross-map plays. They don't want any flanks coming in. What kind of marksman are they thinking to pick up?
Yeah, that's why I felt carry should be the pick for them, as well as something like a Clint that we know that CW have played before, maybe not in M5.
My buddy, that's Mari.
So that's
Should be Claude.
should be Claude. Yeah, that should
I
be
believe
Claude.
it is a Claude pick
All right.
coming in for Onyx. And okay, so
all right, it's Claude.
I got a big question here, right? They pick up the Claude, so they're trying to secure that and then hide that flex pick Dyrop all the way to the end.
Exactly.
Is there a possibility we get an assassin here for Kyrie?
There's a high possibility, especially if you don't go for another sustained hero here coming out from come from AP Bread. I'm thinking like Angela Arlott for them. Arlott has a great combo with the Fredrin because of the amount of CC that you can get, so that you'll always refresh your dashes for the Arlott, and it's also a flat TZ special. And then you supplement that with something like an Angela, so that your Brody will be stronger. But they can also go for burst heroes, maybe Kadira, in fact, for a few in this particular matchup, because you want to go for burst now. You don't want to go sustained battle against Onyx.
My question is it not too risky, because there's a Fredrin as well as a Brody picking up any assassins, but I know Kyrie is the master assassin, the best assassin player in the world, but is it even possible with this kind of draft from coming from EP Brand?
Against Minotaur, probably, a Thames. That is a Thames.
Oh,
wow.
Looks like AP Brand finished up the draft with a Novaria as well as Thomas.
That's right. I think you want to park your Dyroth in the XP lane and maybe get something like a backshot, for example. Is it actually still available? Yeah, backshot is still available, and it's actually pretty good for Onyx. You can go back to that, or maybe a Martis, in fact.
Full aggression in the early game could definitely work, more mobility as well. But if you want best of both worlds, the Assassins will be a solid choice to go for. Dyroth flex into the jungle is what they decide to go for. The Terizla in the XP lane for Mr. Boots.
Let me just say, looking at the draft coming in from Onyx, very strong when it comes to the team fight, but here's the thing, they can play a 4v5, that Claude can go to the side lanes.
It's gonna be all about damage for Onyx, but late game damage. I would say though, there is a massive combo between all the physical damage dealers here coming out from Onyx. They have sustain from the Terizla, so that will be the guy to be in the front lines, and then the Target to follow it up. Then you have the combo, Dyroth plus the Claude, right? For the additional penetration, that will be your damage source for the side of Onyx.
Now going into this game, a reminder, this is going to be the start of the best of 7. Both teams, this is going to be a test of their stamina, of their mental. How are they going to survive this onslaught? And moreover, AP Brand, can they overcome what happened yesterday? We'll witness, can they do it in the Land of Dawn?
Let's see if they can, man. The Dyroth into the Thames lane. Thames perhaps with vengeance, and then it gets real hard to go and all in. What the Dyroth loves to do, and what both teams loves to do, is that early game pressure. We're fighting head on, guns blazing into the early game. Lavelle Wolf, sounds like we're in it already.
Yep, we are in the game, but for now, we are gonna make sure all things are. Let's try to cast the game while listening to it.
I can listen to for them trying to take the purple buff right
they're
now.
taking the purple buff. Yep,
100%.
That's a purple.
And the Novaria is helping out.
Helped out.
He's
now in the mid lane trying to clear the wave.
Exactly. And I kind of feel like both EXP laners are freezing-ish the lane. They're looking at each other and just trying to poke each other out.
In fact, they freeze it so much, I think there's a pause.
Oh, yeah.
There might be it. That might be the case right now, right? We're just holding up again. We got some Filipino fans in the building, as expected. It's all about that support right now in Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Before the folks watching back at home and also the people watching in the venue, please do be patient with us. as we deal with some issues.
Yeah, but it's okay. While the pause is happening right here, we do have to talk about how both teams want to approach this fight. Because again, looking at Onyx, the thing that I'm looking at is because when they ban out the Paquito, they have a better chance in case if anything goes wrong. CW can go to the side, and I kind of feel like with CW, specifically CW on the Claude, it's not impossible for him to win a 1v2 situation.
Not at all. I think he's one of the best weak side gold laners in the world right now, but he is facing off against Super Marco, who this time has his comfort hero. In all the times that I feel like AP Brent has won an international tournament when they were representing the Philippines for ISF and SEA Games, it was on Super Marco getting a bully pick in the gold lane, and then they snowball from that Brody to rotate him across the map. Exactly what we saw again from AP Brent against Blacklist yesterday. They were able to utilize Super Marco to rotate to neutral objectives. It's a strange angle to attack from, but it is an angle that is optimal for AP Brent.
And that's even more applicable for this particular game just because of the Matilda, right? I think that we've seen this so many times. You park the Matilda in the middle of the lanes, mid to bottom, for example, or bottom or top to mid, that you utilize the guiding wind, maximum range, and because of the wilderness blessing and available for the Matilda, you really cover up so much ground, and the guiding wind it looks like a massive teleport spell afterwards. So you're definitely going to see that kind of playstyle coming out from AP Brent.
Right now, looking at the draft index, looks like in terms of the late game potential, both teams are quite equal. But when it comes to early to mid game potential, it is Pharaonic. So having this Dyrov in the jungle, it is going to be pretty strong going up against the Fredrin. However, looking at a combination here, Wolf, the Fredrin, the Matilda, the Novaria, as well as the Thomas, if the Thomas joins during the turtle fight, I'm not entirely confident that Onyx can really secure things, even though they have the early to mid game potential.
I guess because of the fact that they are Onyx, maybe they can secure it. But no, technically speaking, there's a definite approach here for the side of Onyx. The way that they will set up their box, it will be the Terzla first, tanking all of the damage. Bad of Smith gonna be there, so the levels as well as the EXP is important for boots. Then you have the Tigreal coming out from Keyboy for the surprise plays. You would not see Kyrie as well as Sans leading the charge because of the two big boys from Onyx that might be their setup for the box.
And with that box, that's the big, I feel, issue for both these teams, right? They want to try to set it up, but the other wants to try to make it as chaotic as possible. They want to try to attack from different angles, and I think with AP Brent's comp, that might be what they're looking for here.
Yes.
Attacking from different angles, using that Matilda to create havoc in these team fights. And Thama should be doing the same thing, right? If he got the Vengeance here, it'll be really, really hard for the Claude or anyone to even deal with it.
Let me misuse my power at the moment.
Misuse?
Yes, because right now, while the players are on stage, I want the players to hear the crowd cheer. If you're with Onyx, chant Onyx. If you're with AP Brand, chant AP Brand. And Mirko, I know you're with Onyx, so let me hear all the Sonics. Onyx! Oh, we're in the game!
We're in!
Let me hear AP Brand! And with that, let's jump into the game.
We're in, all right. Onyx versus AP Bren in the early stage. Really, 1 minute has elapsed. And what does it look like so far? Maybe we can take it slow with the emblems first here, Wolf.
Yeah. We haven't seen them actually right now. Yep. We're going to be looking towards that later on. I'm actually surprised that Brave Smite is Kyle Tzi's choice, because I think that in the Philippines, we're the kind of region that likes the Quantum Charge actually on that particular hero. And Flap Tz going in for Impure Rage. One thing that we do know about the Brody is it's a great laner. Like 1v1 almost wins almost all of the matchups.
And right now looking at Kyrie already setting up for the turtle. Keyboy absorbing quite a lot of damage coming in from Few as well as Ogwen. Not going to be having priority going into the turtle fight.
Kyrie's holding it, resets it. Sounds and Boots rotating over. Both teams looking to go and contest for the first turtle of the game. Flap Tz already regaining that prio in the bottom side of the map. But both teams are still hovering over.
Yeah, right now again, if you brand, they do have the Astral Echo to find the opposing side, but Boost goes in.
3-man penalty zone off the Sans' damage coming down, and that's going to be Keyboy who shoves them back. Kyrie winning the red street battle with the implosion coming down as well. Now he's gonna view. Very low first blood picked up by Sans, but a good appraiser's path turns it around. Now Boots all alone. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Make it 2-for-2 for the turtle, but if Boots gets taken down here, Onyx will lose out in the first fight of the game. Flapteasy.
Congratulations, Onyx got the turtle, but they have to pay with 3 members. It's not even worth it, Wolf.
Not at all. At the first turtle fight, you don't want to get that turtle in exchange for 3 heroes. That's the AP brand. But a wonderful placement coming out from Flapteasy, just keeping his stabs up to Kyrie. Kyrie was way slow because of the control coming out from Flap. He still was able to get the turtle, which is amazing, but the succeeding fight, because they were pulled down so much, they didn't have any staying power anymore.
This is why I was wondering, is it good for Onyx to fight around the turtle? Because the poke coming in from AP Brand, as well as the heavy damage that they can put out. Flapteasy wants Keyboy.
The CC, right? It's phenomenal. Kyrie jumping in, Sans is there as well with the help of CW. That's a 3-man circling eagle knockup. CW forced to use the defensive battle mirror image back to his own turret. Torn apart memory also used up there. A good shot off the CW under his tier 1. Ogu's looking for a dive angle. Jumps in with the guiding wind. Super Marco looking for the stun. Battle mirror image out. Super Marco gets 1 hit on the turret gold and backs away.
Great for CW for sure, as he's able to stand his ground. But overall, this is really good for AP Brand, because now they are overtaking the jungle. Flapteasy and Ogwin, and the coverage that they can have because of the guiding wind and the sustain that they have with you from long distance. Woo!
Even an appraiser's wrath just to keep Keyboy at bay. They know how big the playmaking is.
Boom. Dude, the impact is so huge. The entire map lights up. And speaking of the entire map, it looks like what AP Brand is trying to do is try to cover 51% of the map. They're making sure Onyx stays honest. Onyx stays in their path.
I love the crowd, man. I really do. They're cheering for the screen going back to normal. Onyx. Some good damage on Ogwin. Astral Echo connecting onto all 4. Flapteasy holding onto the turtle. That's a good Astral Spear onto the back. Boots gonna be zoned away for now. Flapteasy jumping in, getting a taunt, knocking Boots up. Flapteasy doing the same thing. Now with the Infernum and the circling Eagle. Boots with a flicker backwards. That might just be a kill. DPZ to fall back. Gets a snipe from downtown. And it's Keyboy who's forced back, and now the entire Onyx have to pull back.
Massive pokes coming out from AP Brand. The positioning, Ogwin was so instrumental in that, as well as Flapteasy. This surprise pick with this Matilda and this Dams will make it difficult for Onyx to get some territories, get some ground, and Few being on point with the spear.
The way that I see it, AP Brand wants to tell the Sky Kings, stay down, stay grounded. We're not gonna allow you to fly. But looking at the pacing here, I gotta ask you, Wolf, is this enough? Because Onyx, it looks like they're fine moving in this pace.
Oh, definitely. This is what they need to be doing. And the thing is, they're not really like stumbling, or they're not giving anything for Onyx Esports again to kind of move on. And I think this is the way that they're handling the left side of the map with the Brody, the top lane, gives them so much ground to work with and so much control at the early stages of the game.
And with a 3,000 gold lead, they're really dictating the pace. They're already rotating up top. They know where the battle mirror image is going to be placed down. CW, no turret there, but he backs up to the battle mirror image. And now Onyx are looking for a counter-attack, but it is going to be fumbled instantly. AP Brent spot them, and they know exactly what they were planning.
Right now, I gotta ask Wolf, what is Onyx able to lose out? In terms of trading, they're losing turrets. How many turrets can they afford to lose?
Well, they do have good late game. I think they're gonna be happy just keeping all of their outer turrets before the first Lord. Again, that's already a good sign for Onyx. Because right now, I mean, if the first Lord goes in favor of AP Brand and they don't have their turrets anymore, that's gonna be a very bad problem. But I think, just to answer your question, that's the most that they can have.
All right, looking like Onyx, they gotta keep that in mind. Onyx gotta keep that in mind, man. If they want to make sure that they are still breathing into the game, they gotta make sure when the Lord happens, the outer turrets are safe. Looking at the mid, very healthy. Looking at the EXP lane, looks like is generally quite okay as well.
Yeah.
And now looking at the turtle, it's in favor of AP Bren, with 3 members of Onyx getting spotted out. Boots walking up now. Baptiste doing some damage on a Keyboy, poking him down with an Astral Spear, connecting onto the back line as well. Circling Eagle, knocking Kyrie up, zoning them away from the turtle, and Boots is forced to run away. Flapteezy just wreaking havoc as Calteezy picks up the turtle. Once again, 3 turtles to AP Brent. No contest from Onyx.
We gotta talk about Flapteezy here. He's really pushing everyone from Onyx away. How's he doing this?
No, this is the strength of the Thames with the Impure Rage and the threat of the Vengeance. Then there's always that Ogwyn factor where no matter what happens, he's gonna be safe. That's why the two of them just go together, and there's nothing that Onyx can do. The early game tempo from the side of AP Brand was dictated by this Thames as well as this Matilda.
Well, good news for Onyx fans because EW is still deathless. Sans is able to protect himself with the ult coming in from Matilda. So far, a pretty slow-paced game. It looks like Onyx, again, this is the kind of pacing that they are forced to go into. But Kyrie, now, again, the question to Wolf, can Kyrie farm up enough that he can cause trouble for AP Brand?
Oh, it's not just about himself. I mean, the answer is yes, but
Kyrie still secures it.
Kyrie still secures it. The answer is yes, but he really needs to find his teammates. I think, you know, when you look at the Dairoth, you would think that this is a singular hero or an individual kind of hero, but it's not. It's a combo-based hero. You need someone else with physical damage to combo with you so that you're able to just make full advantage of the passive as well as the kit that Dairoth has. So I guess for Kyrie, yeah, surely you can farm up, but you need to utilize your teammates as well.
Exactly, right? It's not a solo hero here, especially I feel like the way that Kyrie's building towards, it's more of that utility build. Anti-Curse first item, only a Fury Hammer to help him deal some damage and a little bit of penetration. So this pick is really reliant on everyone else dealing damage. He's a utility jungler.
Help me understand this, Wolf. Why is Keyboy positioning the way that he is positioning now?
Oh, it makes me wonder. He doesn't have any teammates. I think he just wants to make sure that the purple buff will be at least watched. And there's really nothing that they can do right now aside from farming. He's spending his time here so that he's going to be able to land a wonderful implosion once they see the other members.
It looks like they're setting up on the board here. Sans
Flickering out. Astral Echo thrown out as well by Sans in panic. And I feel like for Keyboy, is he trying to learn from his idol? The BBB, the big brain below, and now it's the BBK, big brain Keyboy, perhaps.
Here's the thing, AP Brand, no one sees this. No one knows where Keyboy is, but even if he gets a 5-man implosion, will the damage be enough, Wolf?
Maybe they have the Dairoth, so they can. The damage will be there.
But AP Brent's damage as well is quite massive. Look at the poke coming in. Boots is already down to half.
Even the Lizard did not spot out Keyboy.
Yeah. Another Astral Spear. Boots taken low. Penalty zone. That's a DPZ, but not a defensive penalty zone. That's a desperate penalty zone from Onyx. A 4.8k gold lead, building up to 5k, and it has halted any shot of Onyx to look for an angle to fight.
It looks like Keyboy abort the plan. This is not going how we want it to go. Keyboy returns, and now Onyx, they got to pre-plan what else are they going to do. Astral Echo finds 2.
Fish and mail. Onyx forced back into their tier 1, and Super Marco, Mr. Reketiano, picks up that tier 1 in the mid lane.
Oh, this is definitely going to be AP Brand's power spike. And Onyx need to hold their ground. AP Brand's lineup with this Matilda, with this Brody, they're very, very strong at this moment. And the thing is, because of the fact that Few had a great time in the early stages, he's going to be the one to supplement the damage in the latter portions of the game. So AP Brand, even their composition is like this, they're not technically just an early to mid kind of a lineup. They do have the late game because of this Novaria. And Onyx needs to respect that. They need to make something happen now.
How's the clear though, right? I mean, Onyx right now, they're trying to deal with just a super minion wave.
It's not
good. We saw the main reason they were able to come back was that wave clear with the Lily. SCW gets poked by a torn apart memory. Zone back to his base.
Something about Onyx, I believe, and I kind of feel like all the Sonics believe, as long as the crystal is not destroyed, because it's not just in M5, they did it in M4 as well. When the odds are not in their favor, they will find a way. They will be able to do the impossible.
Dude, was that against the Valley, dude? Maybe, torn apart memory. Oh, Kyrie forced back Battle Mirror Image defensively as well. Onyx have fended off the First Lord, but I would say it's quite value. AP Brent got half of the HP for the turret in the bottom lane.
That's right. The Twilight Armor picked up by Carry, this is definitely a reaction to what AP Brent is giving them. Going up against the Novaria. And if I'm looking at the heroes, the composition of Onyx, there's really no dive that can get to few. So I think that this is another problem that they have to go through. Even then, the front-to-back composition of AP Brent is also a thing of beauty because you have Lapteezy all very, very farmed now with the Impure Rage as well as the Vengeance, and then you have Kalteezy to man the front lines as well. They have the Guiding Wind to start. The front-to-back of AP Brent is just perfect.
Ogwen is a roamer, let me remind you.
Yeah.
And he's doing that much damage to CW.
I really am curious to see how far behind CW is compared to Super Marco, right? Because Marco's been eating turrets, but it seems like in terms of levels, even damage earlier, CW has got quite enough.
So let me just ask, Will, because you were talking about how Onyx, based on their lineup, it's not going to be easy to catch Few. So if Few is not the target, who should be the target?
You know,
is it the front line? Is it Super Marco?
I think Onyx will have to settle for the front lines, yes. Because that is the idea of the Dyrot anyways. Of course you can dive, but...
Good shot again, Astral Echo. Now revealing a few members. Kyrie going to be engaged on right now with the Circling Eagle. The Tommy and Brazer's Wrath. You get some strike coming down, but it's not in time right now. It's actually an implosion out of penalty zone, but it's still not enough. Super Marco is free hitting. That's a flicker and a torn apart memory. We're crunch it by Sans. A good shot over. Sans dogging away. AP Brent looking for the end angle now. 7-1, 10,000 gold lead building. 2 members down for the Sky Kings.
Onyx lost 2, and now everyone from AP Brent, they're marching forward. They're looking at the base. Lapteezy goes in.
The Hive in the building erupts. Coming away, but it's cleared out. But the turret, the base, has been taken away. AP Brent snatch a victory from under Onyx feet.
This is the beginning of AP Brent telling Onyx no more. What happened yesterday was a fluke. If you give us an advantage, we're gonna take the win.
What a way to open up this series here with AP Brent taking the very first game. I couldn't believe what was going on, and especially with what the heck happened in the draft. They've learned a lot from the last time they've met, Leo.
It's a much better way to go ahead and take control of an early game advantage that they very much had in game 1 in yesterday's upper bracket final, and now it's clear AP Brent has woken up.
They have. They've opened up the draft, and more so, they've opened up some interesting picks here. And let me tell you, Leo, have you heard about this man? M2 World Champion.
Season 6 and Season 12, MPL PH champion.
Oh my goodness, this man continues to roll harder and harder every single day. From level 1 to 4, he continues to dominate. He decided to pick Thamus this game. Have you heard his name? David Charles, the Filipino Cannon!
I can't believe that Thamus debuted here in the knockout stage 2 with a dominant victory like this. He built the Vengeance, you see that?
Yes, and honestly, for most Thamus players, that's the way to go. You're looking to be able to withstand the damage and honestly utilize your ult in the same manner to buy that extra bit of time. But you can see, for the side of AP Brent, it was clear that they wanted to play early game, and more importantly so, they had no real answer to this Thamus for at least the first 6 minutes, unless they were sending their gold laner over, but I don't know, CW, he was not leaving that lane anytime soon.
Quick flashback to what happened exactly in game 1. First turtle was scored by Onyx, but at the behest of the rest of the team, it turned into a bloody trade. It was unfortunate that when Flap came to his senses, when Flap said, it's go time, it was a canon event.
Boots now under-leveled, under-farmed in a matter of fact. Well, at the same time, you would imagine that CW would have a strong lane until AP Brent decided to attack it, right? From EXP, they moved to gold. From gold, they start pushing into the jungle. Once they knew that Kyrie was not able to find just that little bit of steam, a little bit of gas to get the whole comp snowballing, that's when it all started crumbling down.
Yep, in the first half of the draft, it looks like Onyx had a solid plan, but I don't think they saw it coming when AP Brent closed up strong with the 2 final picks. Again, they were owning the map as soon as that initial trade happened. So for all of y'all chess fans out there, AP Brent played the open fort gambit. They let through a little at the start, and then eventually went for the punish.
And the best part, the foresight coming out of it, right? The information gathering from their mid lane really makes a difference in these sort of senses, right? You need to keep tabs on where exactly Kyrie is going to go. Because again, Kyrie is the only quote-unquote early game that they actually wanted to get the momentum to push forward, to break through AP Brent's entire composition. And if he found that snowball, this would be a very different game. But in the meantime, it's something to consider, right? Going into the next game, it's adaptation coming in from Onyx, but I think at the very least, we can say that AP Brand have learned from their mistakes.
Yep, with that said, I think the game stats will actually tell a better story because of how this game happened so fast. Some of us might be wondering, what exactly did these teams make of the small lead that they had? And then eventually, when AP Bren was dominating and calling the shots, how did Onyx try to close that gap? Because if I'm not mistaken, the gap was relatively small and it's suddenly huge until it was just impossible for Onyx to even leave their base. That's why all of these weird bush camping from Keyboy felt like they were just one-time big times. If this doesn't work, you gotta pay the price.
And let's not forget, it's not like Onyx didn't have a chance here. They found some great moments against AP Brim, but unfortunately the numbers doesn't back it up. When you're already behind 8K worth of gold, you're gonna get stat checked. The items aren't there. There's nothing they can do.
That's right. And there was a moment wherein the Matilda was just putting CW in its place.